Get ready. It's on. The struggle is real. It's the show that made you woke. Great sports talk among some friends, and nothing is out of bounds. As one Manayunk millennial said, the Fourth and Long pod is totally lit. Time for the Fourth and Long podcast with Chris Lazzarotti, Matt Migdon, and Michael Baldini. It's on, and it starts right now.
Welcome to this episode of Fourth and Long. Today is Friday, May 8th. Friday, May 8th. Again, we record on Thursday nights. I got somebody over here yelling, saying it's not. Yes, it's Friday, May 8th. We got a lot coming out for you guys. NFL schedule release was tonight. We're going to go through the Steelers schedule, Jet schedule, Eagles schedule real quick. The Jordan documentary, obviously The Last Dance, has brought a lot of hype into the sports world. It's kind of the only thing we have sports related, although we do have the Tiger Phil match and a couple other golf matches, which will be kind of fun. End of May. Jordan versus LeBron. We had a hater. Look, I'll put it real quick and then we'll get into this later. I commented on our Fourth and Long podcast, using our Fourth and Long podcast on SportsCenter's post saying LeBron over Jordan, and it got like 100 and something likes, and so many people started commenting. Some dude sent us 25 voice messages. We'll play them for you. They're hilarious. The guy really adamantly thinks Jordan is better than LeBron. Of course, this show is brought to you by Palace Studios. Zini, I'll let you take this ad read.
Yeah, so Palace Studios, my good friend Lou, offering some really quality streetwear here. Inspired by paint swatches. They have some really, really quality sweatshirts, T-shirts. You want a nice crew neck, it gets cold in your air-conditioned house this coming summer when you're going to be inside not having anything to do. So go check them out at pala.studios on Instagram. Great stuff. I have most of their pieces. Goes well with anything. You want to go out one night, you want to put a jean jacket over your shirt, you want to just hang out, you want to work out, Pala's got anything for you, So go check them out at pala.studios.
You really can do any activity in them. You can sleep in them, work out in them. You can literally go to work in them or work from home in them comfortably. I mean, they're versatile pieces of clothing. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, the work from home. I mean, you can just tell Matty Miggs has been working from home for I don't know how long. He's got this incredible mustache.
That's right. Yep. I went full on mustache. I was going with the beard, fellas, and then I was shaving it because it got a little scruffy, and I have some patches where it just didn't grow. And I'm shaving it, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this freaking caterpillar on my lip, pretend it's 1980, and listen to disco music for the rest of the week. And you know what? I've been rocking it. And we do Zoom meetings all throughout the day at work, and I come on, and I don't have my camera on right away. When they address me, they say, Matt, what about this? I go on and bang, I am taking way more seriously than I usually am. So
yeah, because you probably look like a manager now.
That's right. And it's so funny. My senior manager had just shaved, and I have this. I'll tell you what, I might look older than him. I'm not sure.
That's probably the most it's ever been grown out, right?
The stash, yes.
Yeah.
I used to have the stash like for a little bit during Movember, especially your senior year of college. I had it out for a little bit, but this is like a thick boy. Like you can't.
You had one. I could have sworn you had a pretty long stash, like beginning of middle freshman year when I first met you.
I might be able to. Well, yes, that I did.
That's like a Karl Malone stash, kind of.
So, funny story. My first time ever growing a mustache was freshman year of college, and I was pledging a fraternity, and I was still a pledge. And I went to a date party, and one of the brothers, it was a pretty big guy, he came up to me and said, yo, Migdon, come over here. So I went over there. I'm a pledge, whatever. And he grabs me by the shirt and says, next time I see you, that mustache is off your fucking face. I'll never forget it. And that night, drunk, I shaved off my mustache. But that was the first time I ever had it. And then I got the nickname Dirty Sanchez. And
After your boy Marky Mark, of course, right?
and I have my boy Mark Sanchez.
That's why you got the Jets cap on.
Do you guys hear in the Jordan documentary that one commercial where they pretend it's like a news anchor?
Yes. They had Scott Van Pelt with the State Farm, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes. And they say, could you believe this, and this happened? Or this will happen, as if it's like coming from 1970. Right. And one of the things they named is the butt fumble.
Yes.
I remember the first commercial, me and my mom and dad were watching the Jordan documentary, and I look at them, I said, goodness, that is our legacy as Jet fans.
Yeah, it is.
The butt fumble.
They had 30 years of sports. They had like quick phrases for like 4 or 5 different things. They were like, we're going to have something called, I can't even Patriots are going to win 5 Super Bowls and all these important things. And then he goes, we're even going to have something called the butt fumble. And I was like, actually, for a second, I thought, I'm really stupid to believe this, but I thought for a second it was legit. And then I was realizing that it was like a stupid fake, because Scott Van Pelt did look a lot younger in it. I don't know. Then like an idiot, I realized it was clearly fake. All right. Are we getting into this schedule, boys? Or do you guys want to?
We have to.
Let's go into the Steelers schedule quickly. Again, I think they're over under this year's 8.5 or 9, depending on the book you're looking at.
So are we just going to go through all of our teams and then go up and down?
Yeah.
All right. So who do you want to do? You want to do the Jets first?
I would like to do the Jets first because it looks like we have a caller on the line right now. This is a big-time call. We got a celebrity call
he left.
right now. He left.
Hold on. We'll try and get him back in. It says he's not in.
Oh, no. Let me –
All right. In the meantime, you want to do the Steelers?
Yeah, let's do the Steelers, and I'll try to get him back.
All right, Laz, you want me to –
We had to lay off our intern, unfortunately. Times. Yeah, you go on with the
here he is. Let's get him in here right now.
We got him. We have Jetman on the line. Jetman, how you doing?
He's connecting. There he is.
There he is. Let's go. I can't. He's muted, Dini. He's muted.
I got him. One sec. There he is. How you doing, Jetman?
You there?
Of course, man. I saw your post. I'm like, if these fucking guys are talking Eagles, I'm gonna kill somebody.
I'm talking birds.
Jetman, we're talking it all. We're talking Jets. We're talking Eagles. We're talking Steelers. We're talking the whole NFL. This is a big day because there's no sports right now, but we have the NFL schedule in front of us. And what do we think?
I think no matter what, we're gonna have tailgate.
That's right. I love it. I know.
Can we do this? Can we do this live when we have you here? Can we go through the Jet schedule and you guys tell me win or loss?
Holy shit, we got Jetman right now. We got to do a Jet chat at the end of the call. It doesn't
take much to say win 16 times, so I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm not that arrogant. We're gonna have 8 great tailgates, though. I'll tell you that right there. 8 winning tailgates.
Unless you go to the away games with me.
So one time, last year actually, Jetman calls me on a Saturday morning, and he said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm home visiting the parents from Philadelphia." He goes, "Now you're driving 9 hours to Cincinnati with me, you and your brother." And I'm like, "The hell I'm not going to Cincinnati to watch Andy Dalton beat us." And that's exactly what happened. You didn't end up going, right? Because there was bad weather, right?
If you don't go, I don't go. Oh, dude,
that would have been a fun trip, though.
You have a mustache now?
Yeah. What do you think?
I feel like it's glued on.
No, this is the real thing. You're not gonna have a cat like this off like the old shit I had. This thing is a thick 80s mustache.
You must
be
single. I think you're single. I think you're very single, man.
Hey, man. It's tough in these quarantine times.
I understand. Maybe you're trying to switch to the other team. Maybe that's
my mom said that the other day. She's trying to get me to shave it. I walked down the stairs and she says, "You look like Freddie Mercury." And I was like, "Come on." But this mustache, come on.
That's actually true.
You're the worst.
No, your mom's accurate, man. So what do you think about starting off in Buffalo?
I think we should go. You know what's so funny? These two actually went to a Buffalo game last year. They went to an Eagles-Buffalo game, and they were in the Bills Mafia. Do you think me and Jetman can survive in that atmosphere?
Yeah.
What he does?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, if me and Laz can do it, you got a seasoned tailgate veteran right here. Of course,
Yeah,
you can.
I am
the real
definitely
question is,
going
can you
Buffalo.
drink the way they drink? Because they can drink.
I can definitely drink.
Jetman, don't listen to the guy in the bottom left of your screen. Chris Lazzarotti, let me tell you something. He came to one of your tailgates once,
Yeah.
right? He
Yeah.
comes probably 4 or 5 shot whistles in, just I probably like 12, 10. I mean, if you're going to go to a tailgate, you got to get there at 9 a.m., right? Or you get there at 5 in the morning.
Of course.
So you're the first person in the gate. But Lazzarotti brings a Hennessy bottle with literally, what was it?
E&J vanilla.
What is that?
Probably 3 swigs worth to your tailgate. First of all, what do you think this is? Jetman's got about, how many beer you got? 250 beers per tailgate?
Oh, more than that.
More than that. Shots every 30 minutes. Come on, man. Lazzarotti, that's a tailgate.
I didn't realize those tailgates were no joke.
That's a come on, man, tailgate moment.
So I guess he wasn't. I guess he wasn't on the curb. He wasn't one of the guys on the curb.
No, he was not one of the guys on the curb. that was
Historic. That was
an historic story. One more quick story.
Fight that broke out or no?
No.
Okay.
I had a bunch of fraternity brothers come for a Jets-Ravens game,
Yeah.
and about 3 of them were Ravens fans. So it was like half an hour before game time, and Jetman screamed at all of us to get on our knees on the curb where cars are going by and whatnot. And he gets this Jaeger.
A huge bottle of Jaeger.
He's got a huge bottle of Jaeger. And he's going to every one of us. And he said, who's going to win today? And all the Jet fans said the Jets. So we just took 1 swig and we were good. But every time a Ravens fan on their knees said the Ravens were going to win, he kept pouring it down their throats until they said no more.
They said Jets are going to win.
The Jets are going to win.
Did any of them go long? Like, did any of them take
man. Oh, I was getting sick watching them, but they knew I wasn't going to give up, and they were like, "Fine, Jets are going to win. Fine, Jets."
They didn't make it till halftime. They were sleeping by halftime that game.
Oh my God, it was great. That was great, man.
Let's go through the Jet schedule though. What do you guys?
So you guys start off in Buffalo. How do you guys think that's winnable? I think it is, right?
Hold on. I'm pulling up the schedule right now. Hold on.
Yeah, I got it up in front of me too. And then you guys, week 2 is gonna be tough. You got San Fran in New York, which is a home opener. That's a good game.
So I honestly think at Buffalo, I actually think week 1 we're going to come out strong. I really, really do. I think we're going to win week 1. Week 2 scares me more than week 1. Honestly, I mean San Fran's strong, man. Their defense is strong. I think we start. I think we start a win in Buffalo. Let's go loss with San Francisco. Win in Indy. I don't care who's the quarterback. It's a win in Indy.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a win against the Broncos. So we start 3-1.
That's a Sunday night game, right? So they host Denver on Sunday night, week 4.
Ooh, that's a tailgate and a half for a Sunday.
That's a tailgate and a half.
So I'm at 3-1 the first 4 games. What do you got, Maddie?
I think that the first game we're going to be so pissed off about how we blew it week 1 this past year against the Bills, which was a complete collapse. I know you were there.
C.J. Mosley.
C.J. Mosley goes down.
Over.
I've still never seen in my lifetime watching football a player that's not a quarterback have such an impact on a team. The guy goes down, and we literally were opening up holes for this rookie running back as big as the Red Sea. The guy was running through it. All right, we're going to win in Buffalo. We're going to shock everybody. You know, they went to the playoffs, whatever. We're going to shock them there. Mosley's going to be healthy. Le'Veon's going to have 2 touchdowns. The next game, I'm saying big upset. San Fran traveling east into New York after a convincing win on the road at Buffalo. A little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. Here comes the fucking Jets, 2-0. We'll see you on Sunday. Or no, we're going to Indy. All right, we're going to Indy. Bart Scott can't wait. We're going to Indy. And then I don't know. We might. That's a typical game. Trap game. We'll lose. So 2-1, and then I'll say we're 2-1 going into Denver Sunday night.
What do you have with that game? Do you guys host Denver?
If Jetman is commanding the MetLife Stadium, like I know he will be, on a Sunday night game with some ESPN airtime.
Actually, Thursday night.
It's a Thursday night game. Okay,
Yeah.
so NFL Network or whoever does the Thursday night, I think it might be NBC now. We're winning that game 3-1.
All right, so
Both
Ooh,
3-1. Okay.
it's 3-1. So week 5, it's Cardinals at the Jets. So Cardinals have to travel to New York. You got Kyler Murray coming in.
I feel like that's the trap game.
Trap game.
I feel like I look at it like it's a win, but for some reason I just don't like. That game scares me. I don't know why. I don't know
DeAndre
why.
Hopkins. Yeah, he tortures us.
All
right, we'll call it a loss. 3-2.
We'll call it a loss.
Traveling out west then to the Chargers.
Rookie quarterback on the road. I like our chances.
I like that too. So what are we? 4-2 now.
4-2.
Coming home, and now we're gonna sweep the fucking Buffalo Bills. We're 5-2.
Oh, music to my ears.
We're fucking 5-2. We're gonna lose in KC.
Yeah.
Okay, we're 5-3.
But that's gonna be a tough game for Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just gonna go as a loss.
You know, the last time we were in Kansas City, Fitzpatrick threw 6 interceptions. It was a real breaking point for me as a Jet fan watching that at John Rizzo's house. I almost snapped. Anyway, all right. What's the next game, Laz?
Patriots Monday night
In New York.
Why do they do this to us, Jetman? Why do they make it prime time?
I just realized we play Miami back to back with a bye week in between.
Yep.
That's insane.
That is insane.
So I'm gonna go win against the Patriots on Monday night. I'm gonna go split against the Dolphins.
Interesting.
So what are we at? I agree with both of those statements.
So we're 6-3, 7-4. Is that what I have?
I got you guys at 7-4. Yep.
Okay. Oakland at home.
Win.
I go win.
Yep.
At 8-4. Seattle on the road. I'm going to say loss. That's 8-5.
We run the table. 3 more wins. I don't care who it is.
No,
Into the playoffs.
I honestly think
You're at the Rams.
we lose in LA and then we win the next 2, and we're 10-6.
And that's playoffs because there's another spot now for like those fringe teams. Didn't they expand the playoff bracket?
Yeah, by 1. Or is that next year?
I think it's this year.
This year.
Yeah, that's great for us.
This year. So, but it's interesting though. Their last game is in New England, which could be. I mean, I don't think it's unfair to say that could be for the division. Like New England's still going to win games, I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to win games. I think the week before that, Buffalo plays New England on Monday night. I think.
Okay.
I'm not positive. It's at the end of the year, but I'm at 10-6. Maybe I'm off somewhere here and there, but.
So do you have a sweep in the Patriots?
I have a sweeping the Patriots and sweeping the Patriots, sweeping the Bills, and splitting with Miami.
I love it, and I think it's gonna. I think one of those things is gonna happen. Hopefully, this is the year, man. Why does this? Why does this team do this to me?
I would take losing Miami both, but winning Buffalo both and Patriots both.
I would take that as well. Actually, I don't know. I hate Miami when they come to MetLife. They don't know how to.
Their fans suck, man.
Their fans are terrible. All they do is.
Do they? You know what? They don't travel. They travel okay, but they're ruthless. They don't give a shit.
They don't shut up.
You guys are too young to remember, but Monday Night Miracle.
Yeah.
I was at that fucking game.
Oh.
And I will never forget sitting there, and there was a Miami fan in front of me, and every time they scored, the guy was like, "You guys suck," and I'm like, and we did, and I'm sitting there like, "Holy shit!" Man. When we came back, I will never forget that moment as long as I live. That was one of the greatest comebacks in the history of. I was actually, ironically, over New Year's Eve, I was at a party with Wayne Corbett, and he was actually we were talking about that story, and he was talking about that game, and that guy, as many hits as he took. He would remember certain plays. He's like, man,
I love it.
I remember in overtime, it was a 3rd down. I caught this ball, and I'll never forget. Lavernius Coles came over to me, and I was like, you got to give me a minute. He's like, I was so tired. It was so funny, man. But that game was just like, it was a Super Bowl. It was actually, without a question, a Super Bowl victory, especially because it was against the Dolphins. So
Yeah.
I hate the Dolphins though.
I know you sit low, Jetman, but me and Mitchie Miggs up top, they fill out that section when they come to MetLife. I don't know. They don't really travel that well, as good as like even Patriot fans do. Not as well as Steeler fans, Laz, you know that. But they just don't understand when to stop. They push the envelope. Like, you are in an away stadium. Why are you running your mouth?
I will tell you, you know what the crazy part is? I went dressed like this down in Miami, not last year, the year before. They were fucking sweet as pie. I couldn't believe, because I was expecting hostile, man. I was expecting craziness. They were asking me, hey, oh my God, you look great. Can we take pictures with you? Like, they were the nicest in the world. I couldn't believe it. In their own stadium, they were nice as pie to me.
I think it's because I think it's the fans that go to the home game. I think you have a lot of Dolphins fans that live in the New York area that go to those games, and they're classic New Yorkers. And I think the Miami fans are just there on vacation. But that's my take.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, my mom, even my parents were with me. They were even shocked. Like, they were like, I can't believe it. Miami fans were coming out of the woodwork to take pictures with me. They were the nicest people in the world. They really were.
I love it.
And I was scared. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad.
Well, Eagles fans are probably the worst. I mean, I don't know how you guys don't see the Eagles at home. Well, probably once every 8 years, but they're probably pretty bad, right?
I would say in our stadium,
Pittsburgh could be rough.
Pittsburgh, Oakland, Eagles.
Oakland, okay, that's not surprising.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
We were in the bus lot. They come in swarms, man. There's a ton. I would say Pittsburgh and Raiders travel the best. After that, I'd probably say Dallas, but Raiders and Pittsburgh travel the best. But those two and Eagles are the worst.
Wow.
At our own stadium, at our stadium.
But is Pittsburgh
away?
Pittsburgh
are the worst.
Away, the Patriots are the worst.
Away, I got abused. I used to live in New England, and I went like this. It was brutal.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Are there
what do
any
they have to say to us? They beat us every year.
Let me ask you this. Were you at that divisional game where Bart Scott famously said, on to Pittsburgh or whatever?
No. I was home. I was having a party at my house with Patriot fans.
Oh.
Oh my God, me and my friend Julie, who's tailgates with us, and her husband Al, as soon as they won, it was freezing. It was January. We all jumped in the snow. Oh my God, we had a blast. But no, we did not go to the game. No, because we decided not to because we wanted to go to the Super Bowl. So we were scheduled to go to the Super Bowl if they won.
Oh my God. So what's your of the past? Well, let's say of all time. What's the first moment that comes to mind when if I asked you what's the best moment you've had as a Jet fan? Either at a game or at home.
I would say the most satisfying was when we beat the Colts, I think 44-0 in the playoffs.
Remember that game. That was that when they played the Chargers No. They played the Chargers that year though in the playoffs, right?
I think after we beat the Colts, they went to Chargers, I believe.
I think so.
And Sean Green made him sleep in the end zone with this.
That was actually the last home game we had as a playoff, I believe. That might be the last playoff game the Jets ever had at home. And I want to say 41-0 or 44-0. And it was just like we never win like that easy. No. And to win in a playoff game like that, like every touchdown, we're like, oh my God, this is the easiest thing ever. It was just great. It was just like not your typical Jet game, because we're always like fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, shitting on our pants.
Yep.
So that was fun. And the Monday Night Miracle game, that was like a Super Bowl. That was insane, man. And then after that, my greatest moment would be the first time I ever did the chant on the Jumbotron.
That's sick.
What was your best chant? Like, when did you get the crowd the most? I know you've commanded 82,000 fans at once, but what time do you remember it the most? The first time?
The best chant ever was I'd probably say the year after, because they didn't do the chant for a year, and then the first year after that, opening day, it was insane.
That's amazing.
It was electric. It was insane.
It's a good thing that we're not like the Patriots or the Eagles have like an EAGLES Eagles, because God, I don't know how you do it. You are pounding beers and shots, and this guy still has a freaking the balance to stand up there. Like I don't know how many times me and Mitchie Miggs have fallen out of our chairs. Meanwhile, you're down. You've probably drank 8 more beers than both of us.
Yeah.
And you're commanding 82,000 fans.
Practice. The only time I get scared, believe it or not, is when it's raining, because that ledge is like ice. It's like literally like ice. And I have Julie every time it rains. Julie, if you ever see if it rains, Julie's holding my feet, like literally in place, because I'm like so scared to, like, if I just go like this, if I go, I'll just slip right off my ass. I'm gone. So that's the only time I'm scared is when it rains. But other than that, I've held it together pretty much so far. Did you see Fireman Ed fall last year?
Oh, I wish. I
would
have loved that.
So he was up there. He was like doing, all of a sudden he went flipping back. It was bad. Yeah, he took a nasty spill.
Speaking of Fireman Ed, I want to ask a question. Is there a friendly rivalry there? Is there a love-hate relationship? I don't know you. I don't know him well. I just remember watching him growing up.
Matty Miggs hates him.
I hate him.
But you know what it is? I've been a fan my whole life. I grew up doing the chant with him. So I don't have hatred towards him. I don't have that, my thing is this. I never thought I was going to do the chant. I didn't wear this for 15 years thinking one day I'm going to replace Fireman Ed. I mean, there's a lot of guys that wear crazy shit. So, I mean, who knows who's going to be, So I never thought like that. But once he stepped down, my thing was always like, okay, you said you're done. Like that, no one put a gun to your head. You decided to step down. So that's my thing. Like, if you're going to step down, step down.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but to have him back, in all honesty, the chant is louder. You have to admit that it is, because people now stand because it's almost out of respect, because the guy did it for 30 years. So more people do it when he does it. So as much as and this is the truth, this is an ego thing, but as much as I would love to be the only one up on the Jumbotron, seeing him up there, I know the chant would be louder, and that's all that matters to me, is because I want that chant is the fucking best, man. I want that fucking thing so loud it's ridiculous. So if he wasn't doing it with me, it wouldn't be as loud. And that's true. That's just honest. Because the guy did it for 30 years. You have to have respect for that.
Yeah.
So he comes to my tailgate. We're friendly.
He's come to the tailgate?
He's come once and twice.
He's not come when I'm there. I've seen you rip the mic out of my hands when I bash Fireman Ed.
Because all you want to do is fuck Fireman Ed. I know. He must grab the mic. He's like, hey, can I do a toast? I'm like, no. Then I give him the mic. He's like, hey, just want to say thanks to Jetman. Fuck Fireman Ed! Fuck!
I have done that, and I get the mic. You tackle me like Moses in open field.
The greatest speech in the world was your dad. That was the greatest speech of the history of tailgates, when he grabs the mic. He is the best. He's the best.
Well, we're going to have to get these two to a tailgate soon. For sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They're a great time. I went once last year, but we're coming back for sure. All 3 of us together.
Well, good.
And we'll do some live streams with you.
Go. Are you home, Matty?
I'm home right now. Yeah. Okay. Going back to Philly in 2 weeks, though.
Are you?
Yeah. Where are you at? Cold Snack?
Yeah, I'm home, man. I'm working at home. That's it. That's it. Did you see me on draft night?
I did see you on draft night. Yeah. You were trying to do I thought you were trying to do a jet chant in the background. Were you trying to do that?
No, my niece, I kind of lost the bet sort of, but my niece, when she plays softball, every time she hits a home run, so I know that she does it for me, she has to go like this. So literally 5 minutes before I go live, I'm like, are you guys watching? And she goes, yeah, you have to do this. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, really? So that's all I was doing. But I did a chant. I did do a chant. The cameras were off. I think when you turned it on, you got the end of the chant. It was weird. It was definitely a trial and error thing with them. It was definitely tough, but it was a fun experience to be a part of. It was.
I know we had plans to go to Vegas for this draft.
I fucking know, man. I should have been in Vegas.
We probably wouldn't have made it home. We probably would have lost our jobs. Who knows what would have happened?
Well, 2 years. 2 years I'll be in Vegas.
All right, we'll see you there. Maybe the whole 4th and Long crew will go.
All right, man. You guys be good.
Jetman, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Be good, guys. Talk to you soon.
See you, Jetman. JETS. Wow, big cameo on 4th and Long. Love
Yeah, that
it.
was
And we
great.
covered the Jets. We're going 10-6.
Well,
I mean, that's
is.
quite optimistic, but I like it.
Well, I thought he was pretty fit. No, I thought he was fair. I mean, again, it's hard to pick. I feel like when you're picking a schedule and you have like 2 games in a row, you're like, they could go either way. I thought he was fair to just go, you know what? I don't know which one of those we're going to win, which we're going to lose. So he kind of went the 1-1 route. I thought he was, which is fair. Like I do that with the Steelers too when I pick their schedule. But again, I don't know, man, sweeping New England, that's going to be – I just think that's going to be a lot tougher than what – because it's still New England. I mean,
is it a Monday night game? It really is a Monday night game?
It's a Monday night game, in New York.
Because you know what happened last time in New York on a Monday night?
Yeah.
Last year?
It was he saw ghosts.
He saw ghosts. Oh, my God. I was sitting at my fucking hotel room working on the road, and, the hotel concierge called my room and said, you got to quiet down.
Are you serious?
No, but that could have happened.
I could see that. I mean,
I was screaming my head off, dude. My phone call at the Jets 5th quarter after that happened, they could have sent people to make sure I was okay.
Well, I remember your call. I want our listeners to understand what happened is that Sam Darnold, because I don't know if everybody remembers, but Jets, Patriots, a Monday night game. The Jets had to win the game. I remember watching it with one of my friends who's a big Jets fan, and we were in his basement. And we were all sitting there, and we're like, this game is bad. Like, Darnold's playing bad. And they cut to him on the sideline, and we know that ESPN, I think, gets away with some of their sound, like the way that they're able to get some sound bites they probably shouldn't be able to get away with. And this one they got away with big time, and they got a clip of Sam Darnold saying, I'm seeing ghosts out there, and they played it. He was going over, I think, the plays with the OC or someone on the iPad, and he said, I'm just seeing ghosts out there, and he just looked defeated. I mean, when you say you're seeing ghosts, you knew the game's over right then and there, and they let it go. And I think, Miggs, when you called in, if I remember right, that was your whole point, is how the fuck did they let that get aired?
I don't know. I could probably find it on my phone, to be honest with you, but I was saying a lot. I think I was saying something along the lines of how bad our Tremaine Johnson was, and I was going over player salaries, something a complete psychopath would go. Most of the callers are just like, we should have played better, but I'm like whipping out numbers out of my ass. Like, we pay this guy this much, he doesn't show up. Another thing I want to say, to clarify before we moved on to the Eagles or Steelers, is the Fireman Ed thing. For all the listeners that don't know, Fireman Ed has been commanding the troops since I've been alive until 2014. The JETS, Jets chant at every home game, after every score, and after every kickoff. But he left after the butt fumble. He resigned. So when we were at our lowest point, he walked away from the team, and then about 3 years ago, he came back.
He left after that game, or did he leave?
That game, he left. The next day, an article came out saying he was no longer going to the games.
That's interesting. That's like such an emotional reaction for him.
Especially he said he was getting harassed
forever.
He was getting harassed by opposing fans, which I think I've talked to Jetman about it, and that's not like false. Like, he was getting a lot of shit, but I mean, you love doing it, and then you come back.
It's all in good fun too, right? Or was he getting like death threats?
He said he couldn't go to the bathroom during games, and I don't know. It's a whole thing. I mean, he was like a big-time figure for the Jets, but to leave like that, Jetman's our guy. I only chant with Jetman.
Yeah, it was crazy watching him on in ESPN, and obviously he's made a few TV appearances, which I just thought that in general was pretty cool. I was going to ask him, I wanted to ask him about Fireman Ed, and I didn't know if that was going to be awkward, but you got to ask those questions sometimes. But I was going to ask him what his view was like when the Jets were picking. Was like, did he see Goodell? And was it on like a Zoom call? And how did that work? Like, did the NFL call him? Or like, I just want to know the logistics behind it. I just find that to be kind of fascinating, like the insides of how the NFL got that whole thing going, because it was pretty cool. I thought it worked out well. I
have no idea, to be honest with you. I just know he said that he was going to be on the draft. I don't know who reached out to him. Probably the Jets brokered the deal.
You're probably right. Oh man, so that call went a little bit longer than we expected, but that was awesome, and obviously there's a great interview right there from Jetman. You guys want to pull up? You want to pull up the Steelers schedule? I'll rip through it real quick.
Yeah, by the way, if you want to follow Jetman on Instagram, you can find him at ny_Jetman. And we obviously follow him. We'll give him some love later tonight when we post this episode. So, yeah, Laz, I got the Steelers schedule right here. All right, week 1, you are at the New York Giants, Monday night.
It's a win.
All right. You go on to host Denver at home, 1 p.m.
That's a win.
All right, and then you play the Texans, 1 p.m. at home.
That's a loss.
And then you go off to Mikey Vrabel and the Titans, 1 o'clock game.
That's a win.
Loss.
And then you play my Philadelphia Eagles at home at 1 p.m. on Fox.
That's a loss.
Oh, all right. I like that. I think we differ on that one. Week 6, you play Cleveland at home. That'll be a win. I knew you were going to say that. And then you go on to Baltimore at Baltimore, 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
Loss. So 4-3.
Okay. And then you have your bye. And then week 9, you go to Jerry's World, 425 CBS.
That's a win.
It's a big game. I could. Huh? All right. And then you come back after that big win. You're going to host Joey Burrow and the Bengals. I'm going to say you're going to
win.
Probably say win. And then you're going to Jacksonville, 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, shit. They're one of the worst
Is that
teams.
a trap game? Is that a trap game right there?
Should be. It's a Tomlin trap game. I'm going to say win, though. Say 7-3.
All right. And then you play Baltimore Thursday night at home, week 12.
That's Thanksgiving night. That's a loss.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a loss. 13, you host the Redskins at 1 p.m.
That's a win.
And then you travel to Buffalo the next week, Sunday Night Football, 8:20.
That's a loss.
And then right over to Cincinnati, Monday night.
That's a win.
And then you'll host Indianapolis Sunday at 1 p.m.
That's a win.
And then finally, to cap it off, you go to Cleveland at 1 p.m. on CBS.
To Cleveland, if they need it. What's the record at this point? If they need it, they'll win. If they don't need it, they'll lose. I'll give them a win.
All right.
That speaks volumes for Tomlin.
So what do you have them ending up
He wins
at?
the must-wins.
Did you write it down? I think I had it at 11-5.
Okay. No, I didn't. I thought you had been writing it down
I was
because you said
kinda-
4-3.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it was 5 losses. So 11-5, I got Pittsburgh at.
And you have the Jets at 10-6, Migdon?
Yep.
Ugh.
The Jets have the third hardest schedule in the league this year. It's just
it is hard.
Shit luck for Adam Gase and the crazy-eyed bunch.
Eagles have a tough schedule as well.
Let's do the Eagles schedule. Mig, you have it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll read it out loud. Okay. Week 1, Dina, you ready?
Yeah,
Laz,
I'm ready.
you tally it up for all the Eagle fans, all right? And for all the listeners out there, Dini is a very respected Eagle fan on the podcast. He's not overly optimistic like most Eagle fans, or delusional. So this is going to be pretty accurate here.
We'll see.
He's only wrong when he sails in the season after 6 games, because he'll do that every year. He does that every year, and then they start winning.
Right. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Bring
Week
'em on.
1, they host Washington.
No, I think that's away, right?
Now, how do I tell if it's away or home?
Oh, do you have our picture up?
Yeah,
White, see where it has like the date?
yeah,
I think white's away, home's green.
got it. Okay, so they travel to Washington week 1.
All right, so I have a win there. We always take care of business early in the season against Washington.
Then you host the LA Rams.
So I'm going to go with a loss here. I think it's going to be close, though. I think we do lose.
Yeah, I think this is a loss. I think Goff outperforms Wentz, the number 1 pick, outperforms the number 2 pick, and then you see Angelo and Mikey Miss start talking about Hurts. Week 3, I mean, I'm not wrong.
I mean, you're probably not, honestly, the way this city's going.
So week 3, you host Joey Burrows.
Yeah, that's a win.
Cincinnati.
That's a win.
Okay.
Cincinnati's awful.
Okay. Laz, you tallying it up?
Yep.
Okay, then we have you travel West Coast to San Fran, week 4.
I think that's a loss. So I think we're 2-2 after 4. We're not really sure what to think, but I think we're close in all these games, which is something that, we'll be proud of going, into Pittsburgh, where we will take a win there. I'm going to agree with Laz now that I look at it. It'll be a nice bounce back for us.
All right, so week 5, you're bouncing back after the loss against San Fran, and
Correct.
then you travel. Oh no, I'm sorry. You host Lamar Jackson. That's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah. So I think at this point we're going to be 1-1 at home. I'm going to go with a loss. So I'm going to have us at 3-3 after 6.
Okay, and then you host the Giants.
That'll be a win. I don't think the Giants are any kind of threat this year for us. But
it's the NFC East, Dini, and you never know with these games.
I know.
I mean, listen what Jetman said before about our division. He doesn't know either. He says we're going to lose twice to Miami, but sweep the other 2, which I can honestly agree with. That's just division games. You never know. Okay, then you have another divisional game against Jerry's World, but he comes to you. He comes to Philadelphia.
Right. I think we're going to win that as well.
Oh, who's covering CD Lamb, Gallup, and Amari Cooper?
We'll have it all figured out. It'll be at home, so Dougie P's much better at home. I like us to win that one. So okay. I think I have 5-3 after 8.
Then you play the Giants in New York.
Right, so I'm going to have a split against the Giants here. I'm going to have them take a loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think this could be a loss. I think this could be a pulled hammy for Carson in quarter 1.
Oh, boy.
Now here comes Jalen Hurts against I'm just messing with you. All right, so then you play the Browns in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take that as a win. I think we get that done.
Winning in Believeland, the Eagles. Okay,
Correct.
Then you host Seattle. I know this is a queasy game for you.
Right. I'm going to go with a win here. I think we get revenge from the playoff loss. I think it's a character-building game for what I hope is Carson Wentz still starting by that point.
Oh, one can only hope. Now we have, just for Eagle fans in general and their sanity. All right, now we have Green Bay Week 13 this could be a snowy game at Lambeau Field.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a win here as well. I think the Packers are starting to, trend downwards. I know they had a nice season last year, but I like us to take some momentum from the Seattle game and win in Green Bay.
We might need to drug test you. Now we have we have the Saints after that. Oh, that's a tough schedule.
Right.
Saints at home.
I'm going to go with a loss here. I think Drew Brees still just, has it in the tank. And, Saints are a good team. Unfortunately, they've, had some unfortunate losses in the playoffs, but I think they get it done. And then I like us to beat the Cardinals the next week, so mark that down. And then did I say we would beat the Cowboys, right? All right, so I think we're going to split. So I think we lose week 16 against Dallas.
What's their record right now going to the last week, Dini?
Laz.
Laz has been tallying it up.
I've got 9-6.
9-6. If you have that Dallas game as a loss,
which I do, and then I think we beat the Redskins, so we'll go 10-6,
which is probably enough to win the division.
Could be. It depends what Dallas does, but it is over the Vegas 9.5, which is quite optimistic for me. I never really go over, so we'll see what happens. If they're healthy, I think they go 10-6. If they're not, which is most likely, this team doesn't really stay healthy. So I think 10-6 is probably the ceiling for this team. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think 12-4 is the ceiling, and I think they can go as I think they're a 7-9 to 12-4 team. I think there's a wide range, but
I mean this
I like what they did in the draft. I think Doug Peterson's going to use Jalen Hurts. I think they got something up their sleeve.
So do I. I hope so. I mean, you want to use that second round pick. I mean, this is a tough schedule. This is no joke. You got tough games.
It's not. But I think you were 10-6. I still see you guys now. You don't think you guys are going to lose against the Giants, but you had them losing one of the games against the Giants.
Right.
I don't think you guys are going to lose that game against who is it? Denver or someone early in the year. You said lost.
The Rams.
Yeah, I think that's a winnable game. I mean, the Green Bay road game. I thought you were generous with giving them a win. That's always hard, especially when it's later in the year. But I don't know. 10-6 is 10-6 is fair. I think 10-6 is again. It's right around where Vegas has it. So of course, and Migs, you kind of agree with Jetman, right? 10-6 for the Jets. Are you going to go? You're going to say 15-1?
I'm going to say 10-6. Optimistically, I still know that Adam Gase is our coach, and he hadn't really proved himself last year. But I want to comment really quick on some hypotheticals here for the Eagles and for Mikey Baldini. I don't know if you're going to win that Week 1 matchup. I can just see that turning into a disaster. And I want to ask you, who's your left tackle right now? Is it Dilliard or is it going to be Jason Peters?
No, it's I believe it'll be. Well, that's a good question. I think Peters has 1 year left in the tank, right? That's what he says. So, I mean, who knows if Dillard can show that he's ready in the preseason? I think we might sit Peter. Who knows? I think Peters is just our buffer until he gets hurt, and then we put Dillard in.
But Dillard's pretty good, right?
He didn't play that well last year. I think they were expecting a little more out of him. I think they were expecting him to, take over Peters' spot, aside from when he was injured. But I think he needs, a little more improvement, to be honest. And, this will be a big year for him, obviously. That left tackle position's huge.
Yeah, and if we're going to keep with the trend of honesty, I think you need someone to block Chase Young because we could see Carson go down Week 1.
Exactly.
And I hate to say it, but Chase Young is a beast. And if you're not going to block that guy, think about you see the Redskins and you think win. But do you remember the Ron Rivera coming in, the former Super Bowl guy? He went to the Super Bowl not too long ago. New regime over there in Washington.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Game. We could see a tough game Week 1 for the Eagles. And God, if they lose and the fans take over, the radio frequencies will be off the hook. Mikey Miss will have so many calls on hold, calling for Wentz, calling for Dougie P, calling for your GM. What's his name?
Howie.
Howie Roseman's getting crushed right now for his draft. I know they drafted the guy Riegler, who could be the next Percy Harvin, but most Eagle fans hate him. They already hate him. They're not even giving him a chance.
I mean, the first four – there's 4 really good teams in our first 6 games. You got the Steelers, the Ravens, San Fran, and the Rams. This is a tough schedule, and they pepper in playoff caliber teams all throughout. You got Dallas twice, and then you got Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans. That's probably the hardest part of our schedule, especially late in the season when hopefully Carson Wentz is in there.
But you have them winning 2 of the 3 of those games, from what I remember you said.
Correct. Yeah, I think it can be done, but obviously it's hard to say, but I'm going to stick my chest out on it. One of these seasons, we got to be healthy late in the year. Just one. All I asked for, just one of them. Hopefully it'll be this year.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in. I'll give you this one time, Jalen Hurts.
So we got Steelers 11-5 and the Eagles and Jets at 10-6. All right. We're all optimistic this year, boys.
It's all on quarterback play. It really is. We don't know how fragile Wentz is. Same with the longevity of Big Ben and Sammy Darnold's immune system. We don't know what's going to break first, but they've all historically not been in our favor. So
we can all admit that Sam Darnold definitely had coronavirus and was probably just one of those asymptomatic people, right?
Yeah, right now he's got the antibodies. So
I bet you one of us has them too, to be honest.
So, Sam and one of us can go to DJ's right now and have a good old time because we have the antibodies. Yeah. Maybe that's the future. We test for the antibodies. There's a way to test, and then you can be let in bars.
It's like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Interesting point. Let's pivot though. don't know really how to make this transition, but we got to talk a little bit more about The Last Dance. I know Deanie caught up with episodes 5 and 6 earlier tonight. I watched the episodes, or no, who caught? Mix, did you catch up with them tonight? I don't even know. But
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deanie caught up. I caught up Monday night. I didn't
Right.
watch them
What do
Sunday.
you guys think of the last two? I personally, okay. You know, I think the momentum of episode 4 kind of kept me on the edge of my seat for episodes 5 and 6. But I think episodes 7 and 8 are going to be important because I thought 5 and 6 were a little bit slow.
How many total episodes are there? 12?
12. 10 or 12. I know it's an even number because there's 2. I want to say 12. We'll go with 12 for now. But, you know, there's definitely a lot more to go. I didn't think that it was that those – I want to see more basketball. Like the one where episodes 3 and 4 when you got Bill Laimbeer fucking punching people and, you know, Isaiah Thomas talking shit and –
That's what I was going to talk
starting
about.
all this drama the next day. Like I want that more than – and just seeing Dennis Rodman out in Vegas, and you have clips and footage, and what's her name, Carmen Electra, getting interviewed about it. Like that to me is more intriguing than watching the other stuff. You know, Phil Jackson. Okay, that's cool here and there, but I really want to watch basketball, and I like hearing about the drama that none of us ever knew about. That's really what makes the show so fascinating. It's like what was going on.
So you like the non-basketball little tidbits?
No, I like the basketball drama. Sorry, I should have been more clear. I like the basketball drama versus the other shit. You know, like where it's the Rodman leaving in the middle of a season and Pippen not wanting to play with the money issues, or those types of things to me are a lot cooler and more intriguing. Keep me on the edge of my seat, and just hearing Jordan answer the questions as his glass of scotch, whatever he's drinking, go lower and lower. It's like, this is just good content, right? I mean, it's just really well done. He's comfortable. He's really.
I think the series is great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm one of those people that everybody knows I'm a huge LeBron over Jordan guy, but right now I'm taking it as, you know, sometimes I end up going to my thoughts like, oh, look at this competition or look at this or that. But I'm trying to appreciate it, and I think I really am. Jordan, I mean, I like the last episode where they kind of showed how hard it was to be him. And the guy got on the screen and was telling us his everyday schedule. And it's like, geez, like this guy was such a great person, you know, to every media person. And I enjoyed that. And I also do enjoy like the last 2 episodes about the gambling. I thought that was very interesting, where this guy was just so competitive that he wanted to win. He was legit visibly pissed off that security guard at the United Airways Center beat him in the wall penny toss. I thought that was hysterical. And the guy gave him the shrug. Scene. It was hysterical.
I enjoyed all the stuff like other than the court type of drama, because I kind of had already seen clips about that before. I think a lot of the people wanted to watch it to see all that behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I thought it was, I mean, look, we were all born in 95, 96 while this, you know, second 3P was happening. So he really wasn't our generation. So I think it was cool to like learn all the stuff I didn't know, first of all, about him. And then like just going back to the earlier episodes, like the whole Jerry Krause thing I thought was super interesting. You got a GM who doesn't really live in the present, like with the team. Like he was always looking ahead. They were saying constantly. And, you know, then he announces it'll be Phil's last season and he's trying to throw a wrench into everything. Like you have 2 of the best players of maybe the generation in Pippen and Jordan, and you already want to think about the rebuild. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he tried to become bigger than the team. And I mean, they vilified him in the documentary, but that's probably rightfully so. Cause you know, obviously I know the GM job's tough and you have to look ahead, but I mean, the guy had so much and he was always looking for more. He almost kind of got greedy to a certain degree. I thought that was really interesting. And then what about how petty Isaiah Thomas was?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, even after the episode came out, he's saying Jordan's like barely in his top 5. Like, come on, man.
Dude, what's wrong with you? Isaiah was great. And there's no getting that wrong, but
of course. I mean, Jordan even said, he's like, he's probably the second best point guard I've ever played against. I mean, but it's just ridiculous that, after all this, you wouldn't, just make up or, not care as much.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how he still has so many rivalries. Like Reggie Miller went on like some kind of show the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I still fucking hate Michael Jordan." Like
Yeah.
these people, like Charles Barkley, still hates him. Like this guy went on the court and he was like, "I'm going to ruin friendships if it means winning." And to go back to your other point about Jerry Krause, yeah, I was very confused when he brought Phil Jackson in and said, "This is your last year no matter what. You can win 82 games and I will still fire you."
Wait, did he say that?
Yeah. And it's like, what is wrong with this guy?
And you're in the middle of a second three-peat with the team of the decade.
Like, come on,
you just gotta ride that shit out, man. You want to make more money? The Bulls haven't been relevant since.
Yeah, don't be trying to make headlines like that. Why don't you let the headlines come to you and say, yeah, this guy, did he draft Michael Jordan or was Jordan before he got the job? I know he drafted Pippen.
I think he drafted Michael Jordan.
I think he drafted all these guys. So just take credit for finding that. Like, you were able to build this team. Why don't you just watch it succeed? But I think another thing is funny is him and Jordan and Pippen would constantly almost bully this guy.
Yeah,
for his height. And, we laugh about it, but this guy, I guess he really was pissed off about it. And he was like you said, Deanie, I know I'm small, but I want to be bigger than this. I want to try to rise above this and be the man. And it's
so weird. Like when you hear him, there was this one clip in one of the episodes where he's talking about the organization as a whole, as opposed to like the team and the players. And it's so much different now in the league. And I feel like maybe like that whole situation maybe paved the way for like players talking a little more and speaking up. Like, how LeBron's so like active in the team management and like the NBA Players Association too being established. Like, I don't know every single owner or GM in the NBA. And I feel like back then you may have known it because they had a little more power over the players. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah. And it was cool that, they jump around a lot, which
I did notice
I wish they didn't do that as much, but it's kind of, I don't know. I kind of liked it the last 2 episodes, but before that, 1 through 4, I was like kind of lost. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, there's like dialogue that relates to like 92, but they're showing it's like it goes up and back, which is tough. But overall, I think it's really, really good.
It's really good. I mean, it's good. I even if that sports were in full gear right now, so we'd have baseball up and going, NBA playoffs. I guess what else would be going on? Like just golf, right? But Kentucky Derby would be probably this weekend or would have been last weekend. I don't know. But I also think that this show would still have maybe not as much traction as it's had, but I still think it's good enough to where if they aired it Sunday nights, ESPN, the way they're doing it, it would be, highly talked about. It's well done. And obviously this was pushed up because of COVID. It was supposed to come out a lot later, but the timing of it was just ESPN needed to fill something. And
the footage is phenomenal too.
I know. It's so amazing how they had cameras at all, like a lot of these times. Like they're on the plane and Jordan's reaming out his boy for going out late. And, it's like, on the golf course and Jordan's making jokes.
And dude, it's funny you guys say that because I was thinking like, look, you mentioned the golf course, they're on the plane. Like it's one thing to take a video. Like we take videos of each other bullshitting all the time. But in 30 years, I don't think that video is still going to be there. I mean, and we're not even professional athletes. So just to think that like the practices and they're talking shit and the golf course, like who's out there golfing and filming? It's just amazing. I would never think they had this much footage. And that was kind of, I was like kind of skeptical coming into the whole thing thinking it's just going to be a bunch of interviews, but it's more footage than interviews.
And that's what I like, that aspect of it. And that's more footage than interviews. Remember the footage where, he won. They won the Olympics. The dream team won the Olympics, and they're driving in the car. And it kind of looks like a cell phone took the video because it's kind of shaky and not professionally done. But Jordan's in the front seat in front of the guy, and they're talking about how Jordan won't wear the Reebok clothing.
Yes.
You guys remember this?
Yeah.
And Jordan was like, "Get ready, because what I'm about to do is gonna be fucking awesome," or something. Like he kept cursing about, like, "I'm gonna pull this shit," and he ended up wearing the flag over it. Like it's so funny. He's hysterical too. Like,
yeah, he was really funny.
Yeah, I gotta say, if you want to go LeBron or Jordan for like just truly funny, like I think LeBron tries too hard to be funny sometimes. I think Jordan was like naturally just a funny fucking dude back then, like, and wasn't trying to be either. You know what I mean? I think he was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's got a funny side to him for sure.
And one of the best parts of this, and we're obviously gamblers to say the least, was just the fact that he was like, I don't have a gambling problem. Like he said it over.
Only because he has so much money.
Right. But he's like, I just have a competitive problem. And he had to like clarify that, which you can take it either way, but I think it kind of comforted some of us because you can now
I mean, that one part that wasn't never really talked about, that they showed how that like golf shark, he paid that golf shark like $50,000. He wrote him a check. They didn't really talk about that too much. I don't know if they will in the coming episodes, but who knows? I mean, you could speculate about why he took that break. But I've heard like certain people speculate that it was because of gambling and they just couldn't cover it up anymore. And they told him he had to leave for a year or two, but I don't know if that's true. Yeah, obviously I don't know.
No, I think it's gonna, we're still learning we've learned about his family. So it's setting us up for the whole baseball,
right. Yeah.
But season. Did you and talk about the gambling? I mean, when they were talking about the plane dynamic and how Paxton would be all the way up in the front of the plane,
right?
And then you had Ron Harper, Jordan, Pippen in the back of the plane gambling $1,000 hands of cards, like a hand, like they're throwing thousands of dollars on a team plane after a win or a loss. It's nothing for them, but still, just the concept of it. There's no way that shit happens now. I can't even imagine.
No, there's no way it can't, especially because the history of the league in the last 20 years, a lot of these guys lost a lot of money because they just don't know money management. Like Scottie Pippen's lost a ton of money. Antoine Walker almost lost all of his money, I'm pretty sure. Like that's why they made that whole 30 for 30 on the guys, the contracts thing. You guys remember that? It was like one of the first ones.
Wasn't that one like Allen Iverson or something?
It was, I forget what it was called, but they had all the athletes and their agents talking about how they lost all their money. Like there's no way it could happen today.
No, you have to be pretty, I don't know. I think a lot of the agents, I heard Allen Iverson, this is kind of sidetracking, but I heard Allen Iverson's agent like knew that he wasn't going to be able to manage his money well. So he made sure that he would get like, he held, essentially it was like a retirement savings. Like, so he got $40 million of his old salary when he was like, he turned 40 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
18 years ago today, AI did the practice.
The
practice interview.
Wow. That was an awesome interview. Can't beat that.
It's the best.
Cannot beat that. But yeah, I think the baseball thing is, I think it's going to get really good with the baseball thing. And I think we're going to learn a lot about why he did it. And because that's a major decision that we don't know much of. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, he went to go play baseball because he was really athletic. He always wanted to play baseball. But I think
that's not the reason.
Well, he had taking leave from the team. Right.
Well, his father was murdered, and his father's first love was baseball, so that's why I did it.
But he says
we're gonna see that it's gonna be. We'll see all the details that went behind the decision, so it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see what he says, but no, The Last Dance definitely has on the edge of our feet.
It sounds like the best episodes have yet to come. It's what kind of they make it out to be.
I have a source that I won't name saying episode 9 is when it gets really real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure because like any guy with a lot of money, I think they highlight. So my understanding was about like 30% of this documentary is like going to be him talking about his life now and like in the early, like the mid 2000s and just like his off the court stuff and buying Charlotte or being whatever he does with the Bobcats or whatever, like all that stuff.
Right.
They're going to get to that. Like they're going all the way up to, this is not just his playing career. So
Right.
an interesting point you bring up. I also saw a link that you could actually watch the episodes, and I was scared to click it because I thought my phone was on fire because it was some sort of virus. But
Yeah.
have you guys heard about that? That some of them have leaked.
Yeah. I mean, I had the leak. I sent it to you guys.
But I didn't know if was that legit.
Well, I don't know. I just got it from like my neighbor. I didn't watch it. I want to watch it like as it comes out. I don't want to like watch it all the way through. I don't know. I'd rather watch it with like the mass. But yeah, I mean, I think it works. Here's the other interesting thing. When you're Michael Jordan, you're too famous to like get out of that life that he was describing in those last couple episodes. Like the minute you step out of your hotel room, you got to be on. All eyes are on you.
Yeah.
It's a ton of pressure. And then even now, you know, I don't think the guy has a ton of friends. You know, he's used to everyone just kissing his ass, lying to his face. You don't know who to trust. You know, when you're that rich, it's just unbelievable. Like, it's hard to like live a normal life, even though he has so much money. He's got, you know, all this other stuff to deal with. So it's a hard dynamic after, you know, the NBA, I think, especially.
Yeah. Especially with how good he was, you know. You're so right. You got to be on at all times. Like, it's got to. And I think the same is for LeBron, you know. And Jordan I think he said something about, you know, every game he's going to perform. Like, you can't have any off days because someone new is watching you today. And I think the same goes for LeBron too. Like, every game, and LeBron's great with the media too. I mean, you know how many times they try all the questions, they swarm him, they don't let him breathe.
Yeah.
Another level of professionalism with how the skill that they have on the court that they have to show outside of the field or the playing field.
How about some of that Kobe footage from that 98 All-Star game? That was great.
So sad just to watch it, but you're right. It was good. You know, then the boys talking in the locker room about the young kid, you know, not passing the ball, and he just goes and gets it. You know, I love that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was cool. It was kind of a hard way to start it because it's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah,
then,
you just kind of forget what even happened.
And
Yeah.
Jordan or Kobe's interviews were like after he was done playing. His interviews were so great. He's like, when you see Kobe, you see him. You know, it was him that instilled all these moves and how to play and how to be professional. I'm like, damn. And then you think about Jordan's speech at Kobe's funeral and how emotional it was. Like, those two were very close to each other.
Yeah.
It's funny. I guess the third title they won, I mean, in the Eastern Conference Finals, they were down 2-0 to your Knicks, Miggy. I mean, if that went a different way, I don't know. What do you think the Knicks would look like right now? It could be a little different. I'm just saying.
Johnny Starks.
Different.
Minchie Miggs was pumped when he saw Starks dunk that left-handed dunk over Pippen and Horace Grant.
Yeah, I know exactly what one you're talking about. The game footage is really good, though. I agree with Laz. Like, I don't know if it's like the angles or the drama they put into it, but they're like exciting to watch.
And just hearing the timeout footage, like I didn't even know they did that. Like you hear Phil Jackson during the timeouts, and you can hear them going. Their conversations on the bench, like where are they? It's almost like, is this made up? It is so good. It is so good. I think I heard ESPN's been working on this for like almost a year or more. Like they've always had this B-roll, just
right,
old
yeah.
sitting. But like in terms of like trying to, like they've been really working on this hard for about a year or more. I saw it somewhere on Twitter, like, and usually they can get a 30 for 30 done in a week if they wanted to. So I just find that to be interesting.
The timing was definitely really interesting. Because when was it supposed to come out?
Not too long, like not too far away. Maybe like sometime in the summer.
Oh, okay. Like around the finals.
Yeah, maybe then. I don't know if they would have done it then. I mean, maybe right after or something like that. But
So someone told me Jordan, as soon as he saw whenever LeBron's last title was, he decided, hey, I want to drop it this time this year or whatever.
He felt
Yeah,
the heat.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if that's true though.
Of course it is. He watched the 3-1.
Well, I'm just saying that because it's all hearsay. I can't confirm that.
Think about it. I mean, Jordan was great, and I want to be here. I want to sit here and appreciate both of them. But think about this: we just watched the Warriors have the best regular season record, beating the old Bulls regular season record, mind you, and then blow a 3-1 lead against a guy that people say are better than you. Yeah, I'd scramble a little bit and say, show the footage for the people. It makes sense. No?
yeah,
I'm sure there's a couple other things that went into it, but
And while we're on the Jordan versus LeBron topic, which I told myself I wouldn't get into that much, but when I think it was the second ring when they were playing Clyde, and he took it personal that he was drawing comparisons to Clyde Drexler. He hit like 6 threes in the first half. Did you see one hand in his face every single fucking 3 he shot?
yeah.
I mean, you did or you didn't?
No. I'm saying no. You didn't. Like he was
You
wide
didn't.
open.
They were wide open. They were uncontested shots. They were in practice arena 3-point shots.
Yeah,
I was blinking a little bit. Like I think my glasses are reading well. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm watching. I'm like, all right, I get it. I didn't watch this in person there, but I'm just Jordan killed. He went 6 for 6 from 3 land.
I mean, in the first half,
and yeah, that's
in an era where shooting threes wasn't as popular, making 6 in the first half was certainly an accomplishment. I mean, let's think about this. If he didn't play baseball, could he have won those extra finals? Like, are we like
1 year? It was 1 year.
6 is the number, but
could have been 7. Yeah.
Could it be 7?
Yeah. Yes, it could have been 7. I'll give you that. It could have been 7. Are we gonna play the sound bites of?
yeah. Let's
you
play
getting into it.
I mean, there's a lot of sound bites. This dude, like we were saying on the intro of the show, this dude. I mean, we I guess commented on ESPN's post and just literally the comment was LeBron over MJ. And
Migs, you gotta narrate this for us so everyone knows.
All right. So what pretty much happened was Lazzarotti, has gone into the Instagram. He has what's it called?
what kind of word are you looking for here?
I'm looking for like a word that someone has like a certain focus at different times in their lives. Phases. Maybe that, it was a phase. Lazzarotti has an Instagram phase. He has it every 2 months where he just goes all in. And right now is one of those phases. And he posted an Instagram comment on a little kid shooting. I'm sorry. You probably know this video, the listeners. This kid had his basketball punted by his dad off the deck of a patio. It had nothing to do with Michael Jordan. It had nothing to do with LeBron James. But Lazzarotti from our 4th and Long account just wrote, LeBron greater than Jordan. This prompted all of the ESPN followers to go bonkers, liking our messages, commenting on it. And some of these comments were ridiculous, like idiotic, like actually keeping me up at night. So Dini, texts me. Dini's a nighttime guy. He'll text me at like 1:05 in the morning and goes, you seeing these comments? And I'm like, yeah, I can't sleep, obviously. So then he's like, all right, let's go in. So now I'm replying to these people from the 4th and Long comment, like just valid things. And this dude, one of these people, literally slides in our DMs from a comment. He sends me 6 pictures. And the picture is like the 6 pictures are one long document. And it has bullet points on why Jordan's better than LeBron. And it literally highlights all the worst things LeBron has done in his career. Nothing positive, all Jordan positive. It was very frustrating. Let me read some of these out to you. I got to scroll so far.
What's
This was
his
in the middle
name,
of the
by the
workday.
way?
His name is Pens_Schick. Okay, all defensive first team, scoring leader, steals leader. Then this like bullet point thing. It looks like it's in a fucking notepad that he created. LeBron James 2015 finals, 78 for 196 field goals. Third most misses in finals history. Maybe because he goes there every fucking year, P_Nelk or whatever his name is. All right. So there's some stuff like that. Anyway, we start going back and forth. I say, you're just trying to swing the narrative. All I asked in the comment was to look at the Hall of Famers Jordan played in the finals versus LeBron, who he played. He goes, I'm really not. I'm 38 years old. And then we end up going back and forth, and he goes to sending me voice recordings. He sends me about 25 different voice recordings. All right. First, we're texting in the group chat and in the DMs. Then he starts recording his voice, and I'll play a couple for you.
So wait, you know your stuff, right? You have a podcast and all, right? You should know your numbers, know your facts, right? How about with Ray Allen bailing him out with a 3-point in the corner? He probably goes 2-7. How about that? Mention that. Yeah, it went to a game 7 because of Ray Allen going into overtime, hitting the biggest shot ever. He clinks it. It's over with, bro. It's over. It's over. How about Draymond Green when they were up 3-1, then gets suspended? That turned the tide. How come you don't talk about that? Bro, he could be easily 1-8, bro. 1-8. Easily. And to talk about the other win, if you really want to break it down, yeah, he went up against Harden, Durant, and Westbrook. They were 20 years old. Wet behind the ears, bro. Come on. Stop it, please. You got to recognize, you cannot think, unless you're under 30.
At least Harden, Durant, and Westbrook put a
Where's
hand.
our guy from? North Jersey?
I have no idea. I think he's from Satriali's butchery, the butcher shop. Anyway, we end up going back and forth. I mean, I was not.
Well, we just saw in the documentary, Paxson bailed Jordan out the same way
Steve Kerr.
Allen hit the shot for LeBron. Like, you can't make that excuse.
And I did come back and say this. So I think I ended up winning the argument, and I'll tell you why I think I ended up winning. And he obviously doesn't think so, but he said something along the lines of Jordan didn't have to leave the Bulls to win a championship, where LeBron had to leave the Heat or to go to the Heat. And I said to him, that's because the Cavaliers were bringing nobody in. And he said, nobody in. They had Zoltrunas Ilgauskas. Take a listen.
How about that? Those are facts.
Sorry.
Ilgauskas, 2-time All-Star. Best big man in the East. How about that? Those are facts.
Best big man in the East. Well, I guess Kevin Garnett was on the Celtics. I guess Dwight Howard wasn't on the Magic. I guess Ben Wallace wasn't on the Pistons. I guess Rasheed Wallace wasn't on the Pistons. I mean, come on. Best big man in the East, Zoltrunas Ilgauskas, because he was a 2-time All-Star. And I just wrote, you were doing well, my friend. I'm really glad you compared Scottie Pippen to Zoltrunas Ilgauskas. Tough look. And he sent me 5 voice recordings in a row. Should I just play them? I don't even know what to do.
Play him, yeah.
All right, we'll just play these 5, and then we'll end with how he tells me LeBron's on steroids.
I didn't compare Ilgauskas to Pippen. It would be up to you to twist my words. I said that he was putting up numbers and was an all-star just like Pippen.
Meanwhile, this guy's kid crying.
Hold on to anything you could, because you need any leverage you could get. Ilgauskas, 18-9, 18-10 player, 17-9, 17-10 player, bro. So you're talking about 17 points, 10 ribbies every fucking season for them, bro. And the best fucking big man that they had. But this is what you said, competition, right? Competition was so fierce for LeBron. The best center was Ilgauskas. It's a joke, bro, a joke. I'm glad you downplayed Ilgauskas like that and you compared him to Scottie being so much better, because that was the competition LeBron was going up against, and he had the guy. He had him, which makes it even funnier. The best center he had. And then you're talking about he got to the finals in the East, the weakest East ever, bro, in history of basketball, period, bro. Yo, look up Pippen's numbers, bro. Look up Pippen's numbers. Not downplaying him. Look up his numbers when he first joined the Bulls and played with Michael, bro. With 8 points, 10 points, bro. Had the headache game where Jordan had to do everything until he really developed Pippen as the second best. Do your research, bro. Because I know you don't know your history. You didn't see much because you're not mentioning this. You're just going about like saying sporadic shit. You're just not knowing your facts at all, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Zolchunas
He's an interesting cat.
He would have made the dream team, you know. Scottie Pippen didn't make the dream team, did he? I mean, come on, dude. You're really gonna down.
Part of all this is that his probably 6-month-old baby is crying her eyes out in the back as this guy's just a degenerate yelling into his phone about a sports podcast to be. I think that's hilarious.
That's the beauty and the passion of the LeBron versus Jordan debates these days.
Absolutely.
Give up care for your children to debate over voice memos.
Come on, dude. What are you telling me? If you literally brought in 100 people and told me, can you now tell me who Zolchunas Ilgauskas is? And can you tell me who Scottie Pippen is? 100 people are going to say, I know who Scottie Pippen is. I would say maybe 25 say they know who Zolchunas Ilgauskas was. I mean, give me a break, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Give me a break.
But it's not even that. Besides for first of all, let's remember this: the year after Jordan left to go to Miami, I've talked about this over and over with people because it's, we like to talk about Jordan versus LeBron, so our first thing is to run right to the championships. Well, okay, that's at most 7 games out of including the other playoff games. Call it 105 game season, 100 game season. We'll call it. So now you're taking 7% of their season, which somehow always dominates the discussion. We forget about the other 93% of the games that these guys played in. If you take LeBron away from that team with Zolchunas Ilgauskas, they were like 54 and they had a great record. They were the best team in the NBA regular season. They had the same roster the next year. The one person they didn't have was LeBron James. They were the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah, so it's funny. Right. I actually said that, and this set him off. I said when LeBron left the Cavs for Miami, they were the worst team in the league, number 1 pick the next year. When Jordan left for baseball, the Bulls still had 50 wins. Yep. I think they had 54 wins. And this is what he comes back with.
Wait,
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
I love this guy, though.
What happened to them? Now finish your sentence. I don't care how many wins they had when Jordan left. What did they do?
And they didn't win the ring. I understand. Jordan's a closer, but was he that valuable to the overall team? Yeah, maybe in crunch time, but that just speaks volumes to the teammates LeBron had and the teammates that Jordan had. Come on.
Yeah, Jordan clearly had a better supporting cast over his career. Aside from those Miami years. I mean,
okay, and this is when he got, this is when I feel like I've won the argument when he goes this route.
Who's the MVP last year? Who's the MVP this year?
Oh, wait, sorry.
And LeBron straight out of high school, bro. Let's not go into the facts that he got caught on PEDs a couple of times too, bro. He preserves his body with $1 million per year on keeping his body preserved. There's better trainers, better everything to make you more preserved now too. Let's not forget that.
I mean, that's
up to the player.
Reportedly taking PEDs, bro. A couple of allegations, a couple of things, swept under the rug. Might want to Google it, man. Might want to Google it.
All right, I'll Google it right now.
HGH, bro.
LeBron.
Run on that HGH, bro.
That's a lazy debate point. Because obviously he doesn't. The guy is just a freak of nature. He takes care of his body. That's up to him. You want to smoke cigars and drink whiskey like Jordan? Fine. I'm not saying that doesn't work for him, but it's up to you to choose what you do in the off season to get better. Like, there's no way he's taking HGH.
Also, I get the game back then might have been more physical at the rim, sure.
Yeah.
But you look at the players now how athletic Giannis, Russell Westbrook has changed the point guard position, and the athleticism of the 1 through 5 versus when you had Bill Walton on his heels, fucking looking like he was stoned, walking backwards trying to guard Jordan. Like, please don't compare that kind of game to this now. Maybe at the rim, yeah, you could enforce more and you can kind of get away with punching someone, if you will, because that happened, right? Cool.
Yeah.
And the Jordan rule and all that. But away from the arc, what do they call it? That it's called the arc, right?
The key?
What, the inside circle?
What's that inside circle onto the net? I'm blanking.
I just think it's like what is it called?
The block?
Man?
The block.
No, the arc inside the paint.
Yeah.
Like where it's like the charge circle. If you step
a charge circle.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Call it that. I don't even know if it has a name. But that outside of there, the NBA now is way tougher. Way tougher. I mean, look at the guys on the floor.
I mean, perimeter defense for sure, absolutely. I agree with you. But you know what really makes me laugh now more than anything is when I scroll on Twitter and I see Michael Wilbon saying that a 6'9", 275-pound LeBron James wasn't tough enough to play in that era. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
If LeBron comes down the lane and sees Bill Laimbeer, you're gonna make him a poster boy for the rest of his life. Like, come on.
It's hard to debate that point because I just don't think, like, as a society or as a sports culture, we were as big into strength and conditioning as we are now.
Yep.
So I think it's a little tough to argue that point because, they said until the Pistons years, Michael Jordan really wouldn't lift like that. Like, he wasn't focusing on it, So I think the lack of knowledge about, like, sports science and health and nutrition and all this stuff that the guys know today is, a product of that environment. I think it evolved a lot, but it's hard to say, like, all right, well, if LeBron grew up in Jordan's era, would he be this beast, 235 pound, 6'8" monster? You know what I mean? Like, in terms of muscle and quickness.
Yeah.
I think the players are.
I mean, when he was a rookie, I don't think LeBron lifted probably that much in high school. But when he was a rookie, he was still 6'9", probably 250. I think that was just God-given.
Right.
It's like Will Chamberlain. If Will Chamberlain played in Jordan's era, who knows if Jordan would have won,
But you see these guys when they come into the league, like the guys like, Giannis and all these guys put on muscle mass. I don't think it was that big of a deal 20 or 30 years ago to do that. I think you would just have to, use your natural ability. So it's tough to, like, decipher, like, how the league would look differently. So I don't know. I think Jordan could still play in this league today, though. I really do.
Yeah, I don't doubt that either. I think Jordan definitely could play. But do you think he would win 6 rings?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, dude. I mean, think about this.
This sounds so fucked up, and I'll get heat for it.
Do it. Say it.
I question if he'd be an all-star.
Okay. Nope. That was stupid. I wish you didn't say that. I wish you said, like, he would win 2. I would question if he would win 2,
No. The reason
it's hard to answer. You can't say because you don't know what team he would be on.
Well, not even that is like what role would he have on the team that he's on? And also you look at the players now. You put any one of those all-stars that are, in 2020, you put them in the league back then in the early 90s, they're dominant in the league. I think they're maybe not necessarily single-handedly, but they're I
just don't. Yeah. And I get it. Like, people that are older, like the nostalgia of the 90s and their teams growing up, but it's just a fact that the league has developed since then. And the average player now better than the average player back then. I think that's pretty clear. And if, you have a bias towards the 90s, I think you're just holding on to that nostalgia when you were younger and when you followed the league a little more. I know I probably will when we're older. If there's a guy that comes up and let's just say he turns out to be better, I'll be a little biased towards the guys I grew up watching. It's just what it is.
I agree with that. I also think that to go on your last point, I think Jordan would still be like a top 5 player in the league right now because of how good of a shooter and penetrator he was.
Was he that good of a shooter?
Yeah, he was a great shooter. He can stop on a dime and shoot. I think he can jump out of the gym. So I still think he'd be a top 5 player in the NBA. But if you ask me, if you would switch him and LeBron against a team that had Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, you think he would beat them? No. I think Durant fucked everything up for LeBron. If Durant wasn't such a freaking wuss and didn't join a 73-win team, then LeBron probably would have three-peat. Don't at me on that. I mean, if LeBron, the way he was upping his game every year, I know when they won in 2016, right?
Emotional.
Next year, what?
You're getting emotional. Keep going. It's funny.
I'm getting emotional because 2017, he was playing at a fucking crazy high level. But Durant, the ex-MVP, who just knew he couldn't do it by himself, had to join a 73-win team that has 3 other top 15 players on it to beat LeBron James, LeBron wins that year if Durant stays in OKC. I think LeBron wins the next year. Even though they were swept in the finals, I don't think that game 1 when JR forgot to score, but so many different things happened in that fucking game. Think about the charge that they reversed on the video camera. You think they would have reversed any charges in Jordan's era? Let's talk about that, P_Nelts or whatever your name is. They reversed the fucking play. All right, I gotta go. Let's wrap the show up. You remember that, though, when they reversed the
Yeah,
call?
I do.
That would have been Durant's.
That was like the first year video replay really like changed the course of an NBA game.
And it was the game 1 of the finals. People forget when JR forgot the fucking score and George Hill missed a free throw. The play before that was the charge that was reversed. And they wouldn't even been in that position. The game would have been over. And think about that. That was LeBron putting up 51 points against a team that had 4 top 15 players.
Right.
Let's see the LeBron documentary when it's all said and done. But Jordan, I appreciate. I think he's great. He would have been a top 5 player in the league, but my opinion is still strong for LeBron.
I just hate how and you hear this dialogue we're having, and I said it earlier. Why is it that when we talk about who's the best of all time, we have to automatically go to finals rings and then how they played in the series? And if you want to go that route, fine. How did LeBron play when his team was as good as he is? He's going up against Durant, a Hall of Famer. Curry's a Hall of Famer. Thompson's a Hall of Famer. Draymond's a great player. Right? I mean, they're great. They're stacked, right? LeBron had Kyrie. That's fair. But you can't sit here and tell him. And LeBron played well in all series. In every series, every NBA final series he's ever been in, I think it's fair to say that one year they lost didn't he almost win the MVP that one year? They still lost the NBA finals? I mean, he played that well.
Yeah, it was funny. Actually, Andre Iguodala won the finals MVP, yes. and LeBron put up 35 and 10 and 8 against him every game. Think about that stat line. And he won MVP because he kept LeBron in check. Think about that. The guy averaged 35, and the guy that guarded him won MVP because he did such a good job on him.
There you go. That's a great point.
It's a great point, and it's also what you just said about the Hall of Famers. Jordan played 9 total Hall of Famers in the finals, counting Stockton and Malone twice. So Stockton Malone, Stockton Malone's 4, Drexler, Magic,
Barkley,
and there's one more I can't think of. Who was Drexler's teammate at the time?
Drexler's?
Yeah.
Elijah won? Or no? I could be wrong.
Sean something. I can't think of his name. But 9. LeBron had to play those Spurs. The Mavericks, he should have won that finals. I'll be the first to say he should have won that finals. Wade didn't play that great either. But still, they had Dirk. They had Jay Kidd. They had Sean Marion, who's a fringe Hall of Famer.
Jason Terry, right? Or no?
Terry. They had Jason Terry.
Terry will be in the Hall of Fame.
It's tough to say, but he could be.
No, he's high on 3-pointers made.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so you're talking about when they played Seattle, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. Are you talking about those two?
Was that a finals?
Yes, 96.
So maybe he did play against 10. There's 10 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think LeBron's body of work is not better yet than Jordan's, but in terms of like individual, skill, and in terms of, just him versus Jordan, raw talent, I think LeBron's better. But I think Jordan's body of work is a little higher right now than LeBron's, but obviously LeBron's career is not over. So, and I think he'll pass Jordan one day. And I don't think he needs to get to 6 to pass him. I think 4 or 5, and I'm pretty happy with that. I want to know, it'd be interesting where people, let's say he gets 4, which he was on track for this year. Do you think they start to put him in the conversation, or do they say, all right, give me 5, give me 6? Like, where do you guys think that line is?
I think the line's never, like you said, because they're so biased that they will never accept it. Doesn't matter. I think when LeBron came back from 3-1, most people, like the Chris Broussards of the world, other people said, this is it. Like, this is his legacy. He's the best player to ever play the game. But I don't know. You're right, Deanie. I don't know if it'll ever happen. That line's never going to be achieved for some LeBron haters.
Migdon, you look stressed out. We might have to just end it on that note. He gets so in. It's as you wear your Jets hat, which also stresses you out. But like, you just get so into this, and I'm with you on it. Like, I'm a big LeBron fan. I think LeBron, there's certain things that Jordan's, like, I think Jordan's, you could probably make the clear argument that Jordan's more clutch.
Not statistically.
In the big moments, like I don't know. Again, you could be right, but it just feels like free throws down the stretch. I've seen LeBron miss plenty of big ones. Like, it just feels like Jordan was so clutch. And
I agree. I want to be the first to say that I appreciate both of them. They're definitely 1 and 2, no matter what happens. Like, they're 1 and 2 right now. It's just, there's no way. There's nobody. Maybe Will Chamberlain. You can argue that, but 1 and 2 for sure. I want to appreciate both games, but if aliens are taking over the world and I had one person to start a franchise with, I'm going to pick LeBron James.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, let's wrap.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know how long are we recording? I kind of haven't paid attention.
I think it was an hour 45.
Yeah, that was a while.
Yeah,
Shout out to Jetman.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, he was good. We're definitely gonna have him back, especially during the season.
We're all gonna go to a tailgate too. And don't bring any Hennessy in a water bottle.
Bring any Henny, Laz.
No, it wasn't even in a water bottle. It was a straight up brandy in the thing. I didn't
know E&J made their own brandy.
Oh, their brandies. That was when I worked for them. That was, I'm pretty sure, the most profitable item we had, and nationally does the most in sales. It's just called E&J brandy.
Damn.
Yeah. People don't
get
mess
a little warm on a nice fall morning.
Yep. Little brandy action.
All right, we wrapping this up?
Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts, anybody?
Final thoughts. Michael Jordan did not let Charles Oakley eat dinner on the team plane if they lost or if he had a bad game. I learned that today.
That's sick. That's so awesome.
Okay, that will. Final word. Don't sleep on the Jets. Don't sleep on the Jets.
Don't sleep on the Jets. Final word from me. Please don't close down the beaches this summer.
Yeah, Lazzarotti's been working on that Peloton.
Yeah, true. But I just need to go down the shore. It's just like sitting in. Oh, the weather's so nice. I'm just beach sunsets. I'm so ready for them.
We'll make it happen.
We better.
As always, at Fourth and Long Pod on Instagram, or visit us on the Apple Podcast app, the Fourth and Long Podcasts. Also follow us on Spotify. As always, keep listening, keep liking our stuff, listening to our content. Tell your friend. tell your parents, tell them to tell your friends, tell your boss. Maybe you guys could bond over our episode. Have a good one and good night.